Let's talk to people. What's new? You heard about the lodge? I think I asked you this before. Lodge. He freezes up. Boss, do you mean the Black Lodge? I don't know. Maybe. Lodge was all that I heard. Let me describe him to you, and maybe you can tell me if what I'm saying fits. Shadowy, powerful, secretive as hell, with deep pockets and a penchant for hiding the truth. They conduct all their business through dupes and go-betweens. He gives you a sideways glance. That sound about right? That's them in a nutshell, yeah. Well, if it's them, and whoever you're talking about, I ain't saying it is. Then I'd advise you to stay away from them. Stay far, far away. And whatever you do, don't take their money. If you do, they'll own you. About that. If you're about to say what you think you are, then don't. I don't want to know. Well, tell me what you've heard about this Black Lodge then. I need to know. Well, the story is that the Black Lodge is the mother of all conspiracies. Supposedly, they've been around for hundreds of years, and they've been practicing magic since well before the Awakening. Impossible, I know, but I believe it. You ever heard of the Masons, the Knights Templar, the Bavarian Illuminati? They were all puppets of the Black Lodge. None of them knew who they were working for, but the Lodge was there, pulling the strings. They always have been, and they still are today. That's the story. I see. Well, thanks for letting me know. That gives me a lot to think about. Sure thing, boss. Suddenly I can use a drink. Anything about that last run that you'd like to share? You know, boss, living in Berlin, I never thought I'd get the chance to go up against a blood mage. Guess today was my lucky day. Not sure how I feel about your freeing those clones. It might have been kinder to put them out of their misery. He shrugs. It was your call, though. Okay. What's up, Iger? Do you still hate me? Analog. Do you trust me, Iger? She pauses for a moment, considering. Finally, she nods. Yeah, I do. You've earned that much. I haven't always agreed with your decisions, Analog, but you've proven your competence. It's only fair for me to acknowledge it. Then tell me what happened to your team. This again, why do you even care? I don't know. It's pretty clear if you had your way, you'd still be with them, and a good leader places a priority on knowing his team. She slowly nods. Alright, I'll tell you. I suppose that you deserve to know. What happened to us was Hoffman. He was a rookie, the kid of some big money corporate exec. He looked good on paper and he made it through KSK training, so he was technically qualified to join a team. But he was way too green to fit in with ours. Still, he wanted to be a hero, and his family had enough clout to get him an assignment of his choosing. I don't know how many strings Hoffman's daddy had to pull out to get him assigned to our team, but he pulled them. Hoffman became our 9th squad mate, despite Metzger's objections. Anyway, flash forward a few weeks. We were closing in on one of the Russian mob's major trafficking operations. They'd been using a series of warehouses 50 miles from the border as a staging area for their convoys. Women and girls from Eastern Europe were being housed there. When the convoys came, they'd be crammed into cargo containers and hauled across the border into Germany. Go to any brothel along the border and have a look around. Chances are you'll find at least a few girls who've spent some time in those warehouses. Slovakians, Hungarians, Poles, you name it. The mob has been smuggling them for over decades. But we were in a position to derail their operation, and we weren't going to let our new addition slow us down. We hit them by surprise, and we hit them hard. Fisher and Braun managed to take down the Banshee that had been patrolling the site. Wolf had reconnaissance drones overhead, providing battle tech feeds to the rest of us, and we picked off the gunmen one by one. They had numbers on us, but they didn't know where to hit us. We had eyes in the sky, and we had cover and concealment. Each time they thought they had a fix on us, we'd shift positions and hit them again. They might as well have been fighting ghosts. Then Hoffman broke cover and gave away our position. And after that, all hell broke loose. Wolf went down first. The sound of it will haunt me for the rest of my day. An explosion, a choked scream, and then this long drawn-out gurgling sound. When he died, his drones went down with him, and there were too many hostiles to track without them. I'll spare you the gory details, Analog. Suffice it to say that my team was wiped out. Iger's face clouds again. You can see the tears beginning to well in her eyes. I watched Metzger die. With a visible effort, she clamps down on her emotions and calms herself. When she speaks again, her voice is flat. I took 3 rounds myself. I had to drag myself back across the older Nysa line into Germany. I almost died. So that's the story. My KSK career died with the rest of the team. Our mission was illegal after all. Off the books. There was no going back for me, so I wound up here. She looks you in the eye. Her tone is impassive. Did that tell you everything you wanted to know, Fearless Leader? Are you satisfied now? Yeah, thanks. So, tell me, what's your takeaway from my tale of woe? I figure that you gotta have one. When Monica died, you blamed me because I was new to the team, but I'm not Hoffman. Yeah, I know that. And you're right. To a point, I might have judged you too harshly because of Hoffman, but everything else that I said was justified. Giving you command with this team was a hasty decision, made for the wrong reasons. I stand by that assessment. But between then and now, I've been watching you like a hawk, and you've grown, Analog. You weren't the right choice to lead before. I still believe that, but you are now. Thanks, Iger. Good talk. She nods. Until next time. Alright, now you tell me your backstory. Glory's expression remains distant, but her lips curl upward into a hint of a smile. Analog, need something? You can't have started running the Shadows much more than 5 years ago, tops. So what's with the vintage chrome? That's not a story I'm interested in telling out of context. If you want to get into it, we're gonna need to go back, way back. She stares at you with her cold, dead eyes. I'm not sure you want to do that. You say you'll give me answers when you talk about your past, so let's do it. Why do you care? If there's no hostility in her voice, if anything, she sounds suspicious. Because I don't care, not particularly, but I am curious. She pauses for a moment, considering, then she nods. Alright, fine. We can talk, but we're doing it on my terms. This is a long story, Analog. Long and ugly and cruel. Are you sure that you want to hear this? Please. Alright, I'm gonna start at the beginning. Not for you, for me. I guess that it might help for me to say this all out loud. She takes a deep breath, then slowly releases it. When she speaks, her voice comes out in a cool monotone. My family lived in Stuttgart. It was a nice enough place, I suppose. My parents worked as wage slaves for the IFMU. My mom was a good person. Once upon a time, my father was a decent person as well. That's what my mom always told me, but I never knew him that way. She pauses for a long moment. When she begins speaking again, some of the ice has fallen away from her voice. For the first time since you met her, Glory sounds alive. The dad that I knew was an old, damaged Euro war vet who turned to hardline religion to make sense of the world. In Stuttgart, that meant either the Ritter Christi or their fascist cousins, the Kreuzritters. My father chose the latter path. I still remember hiding in my room when my father had these Kreuzritter brothers over for prayer group. They would drink and get rowdy, then spend an hour or two riling themselves up with talk about heretics and the devil's work. Then they'd go find some poor elf or dwarf, stomp the living shit out of him, and drown him in the Neckar. Meanwhile, I'd be holed up at home with Mom, who would commemorate the event by drinking a bottle of wine and crying herself to sleep. I'm sorry, no one would have to grow up like that. Thanks, Analog. This is difficult for me. Thanks for making it easier. Anyway, aside from the fact that my dad and his buddies were a bunch of murderous assholes, life was pretty normal. I went to school, made friends, hung out with my mom, kid stuff. Then I turned 14 and everything went to shit. Glory pauses, then swallows hard. ever so slightly, her cheeks flush red. Suddenly she looks self-conscious, as if she's just snapped out of a trance. As quickly as it came, the flush of emotion disappears. Her voice frosts over. I don't want to talk about this anymore. This was just getting good. Airing the stuff out is clearly helping you to work through it. Yes, it is. Glory stares at you through cold, dead eyes. But I'm not gonna be able to get through this in one sitting. You need to understand that. She turns away from you, her movements mechanical. Now, let's get back to the job at hand, shall we? Okay. Alice Fund. Yes, let's pay her the money. Analog, greetings. What can I do for you? I need your password, I guess. Amsel sucks in a deep breath. He suddenly looks as though an enormous weight has been lifted from his shoulders. Yes, very good. Excellent, in fact. This has been a long time coming, Analog. Yes, it has. Too long. Oh, my friend, the wait is over now. Amsel withdraws his hand and turns to open a file on his computer. Alright, before you go see Alice, there are a few things you should know. Firstly, this is a one-way operation. Once the funds have been transferred onto the cred stick, the only person who will be able to access them is Alice. As far as the team is concerned, the money will simply disappear. Well, it's not like we were planning on it. It's not like we were planning on doing anything else with it anyway. Keep going. Secondly, once you make your way into the rabbit hole with the funds, it's go time. I trust you understand what I mean by that. Clarify it for me, though. What I mean is that retrieving Alice's information will be your only priority. No more distractions and no more side work. I will busy myself canceling your remaining jobs and smoothing any ruffled feathers. Do I have any jobs? Notify Luca Dwyer that his task is complete. Okay. Makes sense. Just that you need to be sure before committing to this. Time is important. A great dragon wants us dead, and this is not a thing to take lightly. But you shouldn't return to the rabbit hole until you're prepared to act. If you have any doubts, then I'd urge you to wait. I have one thing to do. It's your call, but remember we're on a tight timetable. Even now the Fire Wings agents could be closing in on us. Make your preparations, but do it quickly. All of our lives may depend on it. Speak with me again when you're ready to transfer the funds. Until then, I'll leave you be. There must be some way to do it here. No. I just looked at that, didn't I? Yes. I think I looked at Shadowland already. So how am I supposed to notify Luca Dwyer that his task is complete? Did we ever meet in the Cafe. I don't think we did. Yeah, okay. My organization is displeased with your performance in the AG Chemi Europa office. It would have been very easy for you to make some extra million by doing what we asked of you. Now, what do you want? I talked to that exec. He'll fall in line after he gets his pants thoroughly dry cleaned. He smiles broadly. Excellent work. Perhaps you do have a future in this town. Here's your pay. See you. Okay. Now I'm ready. Sorry I displeased you by not selling out my job. Okay, let's transfer the money. Okay, I guess I have to talk to you again. Really don't want me just putting it on the, I'd like to ask you about another member of the team. Okay. Yeah. I'm sure, let's do it. Password is Volklingen. Once you're en route to the rabbit hole with the funds for Alice's payment, I will cancel the team's remaining obligations. Yeah, I know. I heard you. I have to say, Analog, this lifts an enormous weight off my shoulders. When Monica brought you on board, I was initially unsure about you. I would never have said that to anyone else, of course, but I kept you under a watchful eye. I could see now that I needn't have doubted her judgment. She chose her successor well. Now please, go fetch the information from Alice. He claps a hand on your shoulder. We're one step closer to surviving this mess. I forgot the password already. Okay. Volklingen. Transfer complete. Sitting in its stack on the keyboard, a green LED blooms to life on Alice's cred stick. The trigger has been pulled. The rabbit hole awaits. Alright, let's go, team. Alright, all my other, I took my mission items, I think it said. No, it gave me one. It gave me the payment. Okay. Time to go. Yes.